Only one more driver remains. I believe we are looking for Jess Williams again. I'm not too sure where they are on the grid. There we go. Looks like they will be starting out of the pits if they are starting at all. But here we go as our cars start to make their way towards the starting line. Again, we have number 8, Gabriel Borghi leading, followed by Angelo Moranti and Cody Canady. Jeremy Spencer Dunn, Alex Rake, Joshua South, Ty Simon, Cordell Secrest, and Jess Williams starting in the pits. Looks like one of our cars had a brief moment trying to get off the line there. It's going to be Cordell there in the back. And here they come around the final turn. They will be making their way down now as the safety car has come in. That is going to be the start of our race here at Silverstone today. Gabriel Borghi taking a wonderful lead, followed by Angelo Moranti right behind him. A little bit of a gap behind to Cody Canady, who's being chased down by Jeremy Dunn. Alex Rake being chased down by Joshua South in the third pack of this race. A good start from the two drivers ahead. Cody Canady able to pull away a little bit from Dunn. Alex is still going to be tailing with Joshua South not too far behind. Alex attempting to go for the inside move already on the first lap, but it's not going to quite stick. Dunn is going to be able to pull off just a little bit faster towards the straight. But will he be able to utilize the draft? Let's see. As they make their way down the straight, will he go for the dive or will he stick behind? He's making the choice to stay behind now for the moment. That is the number 84 car of Alex chasing down Jeremy Spencer Dunn in the number 1. But not too far behind is the number 3 of Joshua South there. That's going to wrap up our first lap as Gabriel Borghi is currently in the lead, followed by Angelo Moranti. Joshua South has managed to overtake some positions, it looks like. As he makes his way down the stretch, he's making the pass on Alex. A huge shout out to Porky's, as you could see on Joshua South's car there. They've also been a big part in helping out in the Bayou City Cup growing, as well as allowing drivers a place to race for the series as well. I know they have some other plans coming up for some future events that will be more focused out of the Porky's location, so hopefully we have some stuff to look forward to from Joshua South on that. But as the race continues, these four are leading a very strong pack together. That's going to be the number 143 of Ty Simon, rocking the notorious Hail Satan livery that he uses on both the Formula 4s and the GT3s. He's able to fly through. He's chasing after Jeremy Spencer Dunn, who is also rocking what looks to be a Porky's livery of his own, if I'm not mistaken. But here we are back in the first place position with Gabriel Borghi being chased down by Angelo Moranti. A big key part of this straight right here is being able to utilize the braking zone very well to be able to close that gap on your opponent. However, both drivers seeming to make about the same pace, although Gabriel may be pulling away as we come back to Joshua South in that number 3 car chasing down Jeremy Spencer Dunn. Both rocking, again, what looks to be their own versions of the Porky's liveries. Some beautiful stuff here as the two drivers behind look like they went a little wide there. That would be Alex Rake and Ty Simon. As you can see, Cody Canady up there in third place, also leading strong in his own little fight by himself. Gabriel Borghi and Angelo, however, are killing it today once again, already pulling ahead with a good 4-second gap. Joshua South continues to chase down Jeremy Spencer Dunn. McLaren versus Ferrari here today at Silverstone. Here we go as they make their way towards that final turn once again, towards the final straight. Jeremy is still being chased down with a fever, it looks like, from Joshua South, making their way into the high-speed turn of turn 1 and 2. Again, with Silverstone, the two things you have to utilize well is the draft and the braking. However, it looks like Jeremy had a mistake coming out of the turn, almost losing grip. That's going to give Joshua a chance to overtake. However, Jeremy has the better line coming out of the turn. He'll be able to utilize the exit. Side by side, the two Porky's liveries battling it out, McLaren versus Ferrari. McLaren showing that it's still dominating in this fight so far, though, not giving Joshua an easy chance to pass. Five minutes into our race already, but plenty of action going on today here at Silverstone. Looks like Jeremy is starting to create a little bit of a gap towards Joshua. And if we take a look at the leaderboards at the moment, Gabriel Borghi is still leading this race with a little bit of a gap now to Angelo with 1.5 seconds. Cody's still fighting his own fight by himself, but Jeremy and Joshua are still going at it neck to neck. And it looks like something may have happened to one of our other drivers as well, as it looks like Alex is no longer being chased down by Ty Simon. But the battle between these two red cars with the Porky's advertisements continue to fight. They may have the same sponsor, but they are not the same team. Both of these drivers want to fight towards that 4th place position so that they can start making a run towards Cody. And once again, Jeremy taking a different line in those turns there. It looks like he's setting up for the higher speed exit, but it's definitely giving Joshua a chance to start attacking him in the straight itself by utilizing that draft. However, I may be wrong in this moment. It looks like he may be pulling away. The fight for 4th continues as we enter towards the end of the 8th minute here shortly. Now, I'm not sure if iRacing deems that turn as a cut or not, so that could have been an incident point there for Jeremy. Regardless, Joshua is taking advantage of everything he's got, utilizing that draft to speed after Jeremy. As they make their way through the S's, this is a part that can definitely make or break some of your speed, especially as a chasing car, because you don't want to accidentally bump into the person in front of you from overkilling it. But it looks like Dunn has a great exit once again, not allowing Joshua any good chance to attack yet. And taking a look again at the leaderboard, Gabriel is still leading, and he's widened his gap even further to 2.5 seconds at the moment. But a mistake from Dunn is going to allow Joshua to overtake for now. Joshua now in the defending position, the number 3 car versus the number 1 car. Ferrari currently showing dominance in this competition today with a 1st, 3rd, and 4th position. Only the Ford competing from Angelo Moranti. Although it looks like Dunn is starting to get a little bit of an attacking stance ready for Joshua. Setting up the wide turn there. It's going to put him behind Joshua now. And here comes Dunn down the straight. We know that McLaren is able to utilize the draft well. Will he make the attack on South? And there it is, moving alongside towards the inside. He's going to make the overtake here, hopefully. And that's going to do it. But Joshua has a chance to fight back. He is the inside line now, keeping position. He's keeping Dunn behind, but for how long can he do it? Some beautiful action here today as we are done with the first third of the race so far. 20 minutes now remain on the clock. Gabriel Borghi coming out with an insane fast lap already. However, Angelo and Alex not having set a proper clean lap yet, it doesn't look like, as we don't see a time posted on the board yet. That indicates that they're having some issues with track limits potentially throughout this race. Or it could just be that our data is not responding properly, as we have seen some issues with that before. But everything else seems to be appearing normally at the moment. And speaking of that gap once more, Gabriel Borghi has increased it by another second, now 3.5 seconds ahead of the Ford of Angelo Moranti. Meanwhile, as the camera has been focused, we still see Dunn attempting to make an attack on Joshua South. This track has shown that it's a little bit more difficult to actually make the overtakes in some of these vehicles. At least with the setup we're seeing ran today. But this may be an opportunity, as we see Jeremy is kind of setting himself up in some positions that could put some stress on Joshua. However, his rear tires gave out a little bit there, creating a little bit more of a gap. It's going to matter all in the exit now. Will the McLaren have enough power to speed up towards that Ferrari? I don't think so in this specific lap. He definitely had some issues getting out of those exits there. And it's actually giving Alex a chance to catch up to these two fighting as well. This may become a three-way fight for fourth if these two drivers keep holding each other up. And here they come towards the second half of the track now. Lots of more straight line speed to be utilized by the drivers. And again, that McLaren does have a powerful advantage when it comes to the drafting. Here they come through the S's. Beautiful stuff, and it looks like Dunn may have been able to catch up through the S's. He's only 0.3 seconds off of Joshua South now. Obviously, the directors can't get enough of these two, as they have been providing the closest fighting so far today. And again, it's just funny to see the Porky's livery on both cars despite the different manufacturers. It's great to see that they're representing local businesses in this Texas-Houston series. Houston, Texas. I don't know why I always want to call it Texas-Houston series. But Houston, Texas with the Bayou City Cup today here at Silverstone. And it looks like Joshua may have had some issues getting out of that turn as soon as possible. I think that's going to give Dunn a chance to attack down the straight. As they come down the track now. Joshua seems to have a good exit. Not enough for Dunn to be able to attack in this moment. Oh, and taking a look at the leaderboards, something may have happened to Cody Canady, as he's now no longer in third. He's dropped down to sixth. I think he had to take a pit stop. I totally missed that. Interesting indeed. So currently now it's actually a fight for the third place position from these two drivers. As they make their way towards the end of this lap, this will mark halfway, 50% done of the race. Making their way towards the last set of turns now. Joshua has created a little bit more of a gap with 1.5 seconds. That is going to keep Dunn out of the powerful drafting range. However, as they make their way through the heavy turn section towards the final straight once more, it looks like he may have closed up the gap again to less than a second, gaining an excellent exit in that McLaren. But we can't count out Alex either. Alex only with a 1.5 second gap himself. Any moment could change to make this a three-way fight for the third place position. Oh, and a mistake from Jeremy leads him to rear end into the back of Joshua. We saw the bumper come off. And as I said, Alex may have the chance to fight for third. Oh, and it looks like Joshua's tires may be cooked at this moment. He's having issues getting cleanly back onto the track. Jeremy Spencer Dunn is going to go ahead and take off towards him. But with the loss of his front end, I don't think he has the downforce to make some of these turns properly anymore. While the screen is still showing it attached, we clearly saw it pop off during the incident. I'm not too sure why we aren't seeing the damage coming, but that is unfortunate for these two drivers. Will they have to make a pit stop now is the real question for the damage they have just received. It seems, at least due to the incident, Jeremy is at least letting Joshua keep the position for now as they resume their fight. And just looking at it, it looks like Joshua is struggling to get back in his rhythm. Even through the S's, he's riding the curbs more so than he ever did. And it looks like Jeremy has gone off once again behind. Cody Cannady's been able to overtake him for the 5th place position. And we're now back on board with the number 8 car of Gabriel Borghi, who is leading this race as he chases down the Cordell Secrest in last place, I believe. If not Jess Williams. Okay, that is going to be Jess Williams there in the Jack Daniels car. So he's now begun to overtake the back markers in this race. Gabriel Borghi continuing to show some excellent performances in both the Shifty Racing Bayou City Cup Series as well as the Roadmaster Series. Angelo Moranti also proving the same, keeping podium positions a consistent thing in his future, as it would seem. And again, some beautiful work today here from Gabriel Borghi with a fastest lap that is over a second faster than second place, or any car on the grid for the matter at this point. Once again, this is the Shift E Racing Bayou City Cup, hosted out of Houston, Texas, for Houston, Texas drivers. Hosted by the car in the 4th place position, Joshua South, aka Finesse of Shifty Racing. A huge shout out and thank you to him for operating and organizing this series. I am Rack Racing, your commentator for today. And at the moment, we are starting to see the pack thin out a little bit more throughout the track. No serious fights are going on at the moment. And it definitely seems like Jeremy Spencer Dunn is struggling with the damage he received to his front end, as that 6.5 second gap has only seemed to have grown bigger and bigger with each lap from Cody Cannady. And for those joining us in the live stream today, we appreciate you as well. You being here is supporting Shift E-Racing, whether it's through viewership, donations, or anything like that, so we appreciate your viewership. As our drivers make their way towards the end of this lap now, that is going to lead to 2/3 of our race. Being completed as Gabriel's making his way through that S's now. And for those who may be watching this that are based out of the Houston, Texas area, this is a series that runs once a week. Different car formats are used. Currently, we are seeing the Formula 4s and GT3s in use on an alternating schedule. Aside from that, Shift E-Racing also runs the Roadmaster series, which is available and open for anybody from anywhere to join. And a huge shout out to Porky's, as they have also been helping Joshua South out, and vice versa, in developing the sim racing community out in that Houston, Texas area. We saw the liveries of both Jeremy Spencer Dunn and Joshua South running Porky's as their sponsorship today. Speak of the devil, and it shall appear that is the Ferrari of Joshua South in 4th place. Now, it seems neither of the drivers involved in that incident have decided to pit, so they are going to run the rest of the race with the damage they incurred from the collision. And it seems that Joshua isn't faring too bad from the incident. However, Jeremy is the one suffering, as his 6.5 second gap that was mentioned a few minutes ago has now risen to 11 seconds nearly. But if we take a look, Cody Canady is starting to make some pace on Joshua South as he makes the overtake. It looks like Joshua, knowing the damage he has, gave him the space. Not necessarily trying to challenge Cody, but secure his position. I'm sure he's frustrated after incurring that damage, especially after seeing that he was in 3rd. And in the background, you can see Dunn attempting to chase back down after Joshua South. And it does seem that gap has started to improve. But we will see, with only 7.5 minutes left on the clock, that is Gabriel coming down the starting straight once again. And as far as track conditions, today is a little bit of a warmer day for the drivers. We can see on our circuit radar towards the top right, the track temperature is 118 degrees Fahrenheit, and now the air temperature, it's almost 80 degrees, which isn't too much of a nice day. It could definitely be a lot worse, especially for these Texan drivers. I'm sure they've seen hotter days for sure. And we see Gabriel is coming up on the back marker of Ty Simon, who originally was running higher up in this race, chasing down Cody Canady. Or Alex Rake, I apologize. Chasing down Alex earlier in this race, but his pace has dropped off tremendously. And here we are seeing Gabriel make his way through the S's once again. Still maintaining the fastest lap of the session. as he makes his way past the final stretch once again, the starting stretch, only 5 minutes remain on our clock now. It seems to say that aside from possibly Jeremy Spencer Dunn, I think our positions are pretty solidified at this point. Words are hard sometimes, oh my. But yes, the positions seem to be solidified at this point. Unless Joshua continues to lose pace, which does seem possible, as he's now at an 11-second gap from Cody, who only passed a few minutes ago. And I do have to admit, I do appreciate the livery that Gabriel's brought out today. It definitely screams Ferrari with the reds and yellows. Ray-Ban also being a very eccentric brand in the fashion world. I think he's chosen a great way to represent himself as a top driver today. Truly living the sim-to-life legend. And at this point, it looks like he's about to make a pass on Joshua South now. Gabriel putting on an... Oh no, I apologize. We are no longer watching Gabriel. This is Jeremy Spencer Dunn. Now making the chase after Joshua South. Their fight has begun again. Will Joshua decide to let him through, or is he going to put up a fight against the driver who caused him damage? This could be a moment of rivalry brewing here, but we'll only find out shortly after they make their way down the straight. It looks like Jeremy Spencer Dunn has the chase, but he's not going to move to the inside just yet. Through the S's they come now. I apologize, that's not the S's. This is the right-hand bend. Jeremy's gone a little bit wide as Joshua South continues to make a charge away. And a little bit of a slide from Joshua. He's going to lose it. Of no fault from Jeremy Spencer Dunn this time, Joshua's car has been demolished. The full rear end is gone now, as Jeremy Spencer Dunn makes his run away with the 5th place position now. I'm sure that's going to be devastating to Joshua there. Frustrated from already losing out on the possible 3rd place position and now going back even further with a fully damaged car. It looks like he has taken the tow back to the pits now. Once again, we're back on board with Gabriel Borghi going through the S's now. Showing how much speed you can carry through there with each lap. His laps have been very consistent. I've only noticed higher 201s and very low 202s coming out of his pace here. With only 2 minutes left on the clock and Gabriel making his way towards the finish line again. We will have 1 lap remaining from our lead driver, it appears. We'll see if the white flag comes out now. It doesn't appear it's being waved yet, so we may have 2 more laps remaining on our hands. And it does seem that incident for Joshua South has led him to drop down to 7th place now, from the 5th place position he was maintaining before. Even Gabriel starting to have some slides here and there as the tires are starting to degrade to a point that will cause them to lose grip a little bit more so than usual when accelerating out of those turns. And here we see Jeremy Spencer Dunn taking the back marker of Jess Williams over. And so as we see it again, I don't think at this point now, unless there's another incident, there will be any changes on the leaderboard. We currently are watching the number 6 car. We haven't seen much of this race of Angelo Moranti. He's also had a clean race as well with a 38-second gap to the car behind him with Alex Rake in third. So Gabriel Borghi was able to lead this race ultimately. I don't think there was any contest in that, followed by Angelo Moranti doing the same for second place. Alex Rake currently holding up third place, with Cody Canady chasing him down behind in fourth place with a 6-second gap. In fifth place, we have Jeremy Spencer Dunn, who's had his share of fighting today, followed by Ty Simon and Jess Williams in 6th and 7th. Joshua South is in the pits in 8th at the moment, with Cordell Secrest in 9th. I didn't see too much of Cordell today, so I think the only thing that they will be looking to if they've watched this back is how can I improve, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is the point of leagues like this, is so that you can be in a series where you have clean racers to rely on while you improve, and have a reference for times that you can achieve. But our white flag is out officially now as our drivers make their way around the track. It looks like Gabriel may have already finished his race, so again, congratulations to Gabriel Borghi. Go ahead and get him pulled up now. As we can see, he is doing his victory celebrations. So huge congratulations to Gabriel again once again. An incredible performance from him today. Angelo Moranti as well. You have put on a good display as well. We just would love to see those times become a little more consistent so you can put up the fight to Gabriel at some of these tracks. Aside from that, I know Joshua South will definitely have some frustrations tonight, going from that third place position earlier on in the race almost to dead last. Some things to look back on and improve. Once again, this has been the Bayou City Cup for round 3 at Silverstone in the GT3s, hosted by Shift E-Racing. We want to thank you today for joining us and hope to see you again in future races as well. For more information, make sure to check out the Shift E-Racing Discord, which can usually be found in the videos played back from these live streams, as well as on the Twitch channel itself. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. This has been Rack Racing. Good night.